listening to Open Mind Industries podcast, The Mind Unleashed. Sit back, listen, and open your mind.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of The Mind Unleashed. You made it. I made it. It's been a while. Been working like crazy and getting called in a lot, so that's why I haven't been recording. And really not much to talk about, sadly. But now I have some things to talk about, and this is just going to be a fun episode of what I've been up to. Shit like that, and you guys can just tune in and turn off, turn on, whatever you need to be. Anyway, happy belated Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. It was a fun one. I actually had to work yesterday, so I didn't get to spend time with Mom. And I got home last night. I, spent a little bit of time with her, and we talked, and posted an old quote that I made up for her last year, and she liked it. It's still funny, and great, stuff like that. What the hell was I gonna say? A lot has been happening. Weird. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. I've been wanting to post, but I really didn't know what to say on the freaking podcast, so I'm just like, okay. Guardians came out. Mother's Day has happened, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Guardians of the Galaxy. Also about a little bit of 3D printing, and I have a few friends that want to get into that a little bit, so I've been talking with them throughout the week. Ninja Flex stuff, but pretty much some of the new stuff I've been doing, I'm thinking about doing with clay, so I've been trying to I want to get back into some clay modeling, but I've been looking for a 3D scanning software, and I think I found it. So that's what I've been looking at. I've been looking at getting back into my sculptures, because I think sculpting and model making is going to be better for me in the long run to get back into like doing crutch tips, what have you. Because I know I can 3D model, but I want to do something, like I said in my last episodes, I've been talking about 123 design, SolidWorks, stuff like that, things I would Tinkercad, things I would use to get into the modeling. But like I said before, I am a sculptor. I used to sculpt, and I like feeling the model in my hand and then measuring it from there. Sorry, an itch. Anyway, so I wanted to get into that, and I have a lot of clay underneath my desk here that I really need to start using. So I was like, you know what, I need to get rid of this clay, and I gave some of my tools to a model maker at work who they do horror nights, stuff like that. And they're kind of budget. The department's in kind of a budget, so I was like, you know what, I'm not using my sculpting tools anymore, and gave it to him. So I was like, you know what, he asked nicely, so I was like, hey man, I got it from Amazon for like $5-10 a whole kit, so I gave it to him, my sculpting, all my stuff. But I was like, shit man, I really want to get back into sculpting again. I really want to do some model stuff. But I had the XYZ scanner here that I really want to use. Now the problem with that is, the fucking scanner was like $150. And I got it I pre-ordered it. I'm thinking, okay, XYZ is good. Like I said, they're a great printing company. I recommend the printers, stuff like that. I talked about that previously, the DRM. But now the new printer doesn't. You can use DRM or the selectors, whatever, And the Pro software is actually pretty good. You can do more adjustments, stuff like that. But if I was you guys, I would get into the simplified 3D. Anyway, let me get off topic on that. So anyway, we really want to get into sculpting because I really have some ideas for my crutch. And everybody's like, hey, are you still working on the 3D crutch? Yes, I am. We've just been a little bit behind on that. And just a lot of things have been coming up. We're moving soon and shit like that. So I'm really wanting just to kind of use what I use now. That's especially the Ninja Flex. And somebody stopped me a while back and was like, I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago. And they're like, hey man, your crutches are painted. The paint's kind of wearing out. What are you going to do with them next? So the goal of me was, I had a kind of a thought, and I wanted to fucking do Batman and Joker. Now, I'm a big Kevin Conroy fan and Mark Hamill fan, so they are the Batman and Joker that I will always know. I mean, Heath Ledger did it, Jack Nicholson, obviously, they're on screen. Jared Leto for Suicide Squad, if for some of you who haven't seen it, spoilers, everybody's thinking is Jason Todd. Which I was like, wow, it makes sense because the armor has cuts in the suit. Now, with the crutches that I use, my forearm crutches, I did previously, I had them camouflage duct tape, and I don't have any photos of that. I had to actually got a funny story behind that, because I was listening to Zach Gaynor about some of his stuff, and I kind of wanted to do some fun, just a fun episode of this. I always wanted to cover my crutches. Like, I always wanted to make sure they were, like, you know, a good color, blue, yellow, what have you, because you usually get that medical, you know, aluminum, which is just silver, what have you. But I decided, shit, man, let me do something different. You know, so I was out with my aunt one time, and I was doing some computer work for somebody. So I said, all right, man, let me, you know, how much is that duct tape? And that duct tape was like, I think, $15 for the roll. So I said, all right, man, I'm going to buy a roll of that. And it was woodland duct tape, like this duct tape you could just freaking stick on. So I did. And come to find out, this is before we started Open Mind, and I went up with John, and I had the duct tape actually around the crutches, so you take the tube, and I just wrapped it around. It took about a few strands of duct tape just to get it kind of wrapped around, and it was like kind of a vinyl. So people like to oh my god, dude, that's so freaking awesome, it's so freaking awesome. And then like one day, when me and John were just having lunch, we just sat down and had lunch, and we're just talking about Open Mind stuff, and we're at the City Walk over at Universal. No shit, some kid and his friend, that'd be like no more than 15, 16, just grabs my crutch and picks it up and goes, that's fucking awesome. And I'm like, thank you, can I have my crutch back? And puts it back down. He goes, what the hell is it? Oh, it's duct tape. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's just duct tape. And previously I used to spray paint my crutches, but you're supposed to use like automotive paint, and supposedly you're supposed to prime them and stuff like that. I did a couple coats with like a metallic blue, because blue is one of my favorite colors. But that's my goal with the crutch now. I did for the Halloween project, I did kind of a steampunk kind of look. If anybody's been over to Universal and has gone to the Chocolate Factory, Chocolate Emporium, they have two characters called Jock and Lady Penelope. And if you read through the damn menu, it's kind of like they walk up to you and talk to you, and Jock has a kind of a microphone thing in his helmet, and then he's able to talk to you and goes, hello, how are you? And I got a video of that, and we start talking with him, and my lady was very fucking intrigued by that, and she said, hey, you know, I really want to do Halloween something first. So I said, all right. Not big on dressing up or anything like that and going too crazy. I want to be budget friendly because I'm trying to pay some bills. And we said, all right, you know, let's do a steampunk look. And I like that kind of steampunk mentality look. I'm kind of a noir kind of guy. And so I went on Amazon, found the copper spray paint, which I think is up in one of my bins here. And I still got a whole good canister of it. I was going to recoat them again, but I was like, you know what, the paint's kind of wearing off, whatever. It's a crayon, so you can get from Walmart, and it's kind of a metallic copper look. Worked out pretty well. I had them covered up for a few months, but when you drop your crutches constantly, the paint's going to wear off. So I was out with my aunt a while back, and oh shit, that's right, I just get past the whole thing with the duct tape thing. Okay, let me just stop where I was. So with the duct tape thing, funny ass story with that. What happened was, I was going on a ride called Rip Ride Rocket, which was at Universal. Now, I went up with a buddy of mine, we decided to ride it, and this is when I still had the duct tape on. All of a sudden, I go back into the unload, which the car comes back in, and you know, come to find out, I'm like, alright, where the fuck are my crutches, you know? And the guy came out to me, he has a headset on, he's like, hey man, you gotta hold on for a minute, your crutches aren't here. And I went, what? He went, yeah, man, some guy decided to take your crutches from unload. He thought he claimed that they were his, somebody downstairs, because they saw him do it on camera. I guess he must have liked them so much, or he just, you know, they were just fucking duct tape on crutches. The dude ended up taking them, and took them down fucking stairs, and, was like, oh no, they're mine, you know, and then they had to get, like, security involved real quick, and security was already kind of there. And they're like, dude, you just took this guy's crutches, he's on the vehicle, what have you. And my buddy was like, what the fuck, you took your crutches? I'm like, I know. But what the guy didn't notice is we engraved my name on them, which is Ali, so A-L-I, and then my gamer tag was Q5, which it still is. So Ali Q5 on my crutches. And they go, okay, well, if these are your crutches, what's that game? What's that? Why does it say Ali? Oh no, that's da-da-da. And I don't really know the whole story, what they said to him, but needless to say, he had my freaking crutches. So they had to come back upstairs to the elevator and grab my crutches back for me. And, you know, no harm, no foul. I got them back within like 5 minutes, but it's still kind of effed up that I had to be kind of like taken off the vehicle with my hand. My buddy had to hold my arm and kind of pull me off and put me in a damn chair. But yeah, it was pretty fucked up. So That's another effed story and funny story I thought was make you guys kind of giggle, but that did happen. My crutches did get stolen off Rip Ride Rocket, and people were like, "What? Why?" And I was like, I told him that story with the duct tape. It was just duct tape, but he found it so intriguing that he had to take them. I don't know what the hell he was going to do with them, but whatever. But anyway, back to the spray paint thing. So we went there and we wanted to do kind of things. So I spray painted them, and then you drop them, and then the paint does wear down. So you need like three or four coats. So like I said, I got stopped about, I want to say about like 3-4 weeks, no, about a month ago. I was with my Aunt Colleen. She came up from New York, and a couple stopped us, and it was a really cool couple. Black lady and white dude, really cool couple. They were like in their late 45, right in their early late 40s. Really chill couple. They were having a great time. But she has stopped me and she tapped me on the shoulder. She goes, "Man, that color, the copper looks really amazing. Like, why did you do that?" I was like, "Well, I did it with spray paint." And she goes, "Oh," she was like, I was like, "Yeah, but I have a new idea coming up because Guardians was coming out at the time. Guardians has already come out." And she goes, "Oh, you gotta tell me what it is." And her boyfriend or whatever was like, "Oh, you gotta tell us." So I told them what it was. I said, "Well, my idea is to find a baby Groot and then stick him on the crutch so it looks like he's climbing up my crutch as I'm walking." But I said that probably, I got 3D print something and get it to him to latch it on and stuff like that. And I was like, that might take me a little bit, and I'm still learning my CAD and stuff like that more. And they're like, "Oh," and I was like, "Well, I have a better idea that I really been wanting to pursue for the last few months. It's not leaving my brain, and I'm still going to get on top of it." And she goes, "What is it? You have to tell us." So I told her, I was like, I'm a huge Batman and Joker fan, especially from, the original Batman back in 90, the animated series, the Japan version, which Kevin Conroy voiced. Apparently, fun story about that too. Tim Curry actually voiced Joker in that original one, and then they had to. This is just a rumor, but yeah, apparently Mark Hamill said yeah they did, and then they had to cover it up. Like he had to come in, and he wasn't the original voice of Joker. And we found that out through Killing Joke. If you watch Killing Joke in the theater for Phantom Events, like he speaks about how he actually got the role. But yeah, man. So since I was a kid, I was I'm a disabled guy, so they were always my thing. Kevin Conroy has that rustic voice, and Mark Hamill. Just that Joker laugh, that Jokerness, and what he does, and I was like, shit, man. So I was talking to a few friends at work who do sculpting, and they're working on Horror Nights right now. And I mentioned to him, I saw him the other day, and I was like, "Hey, man, I have an idea." I was like, "I don't know how to do it," but I was like, he's like, because Shane's really big into, and Shane's one of the model makers at Universal who does Halloween Horror Nights. I can't talk about what they're doing, and even they can't talk about it until it's released publicly. And you'll know that in a few coming months before Horror Nights starts. But anyway, so he's like, "Man, have you thought about the new idea?" I said, "Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Batman on one crutch and then the Joker on the other crutch." And he goes, "Oh," and I said, "Yeah." His eyes lit up and he was like, "Oh my God, you're going to 3D print anything?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm going to do some gauntlets on both arms. So it looks like there's gauntlets right here. My crutch holes, the forearm crutch goes right here. So I'm going to do that. And then on the other one, because I love like lime green, so it's gonna be like I'm gonna take painter's tape and then put ha 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 on one, but I want to 3D print some parts, so I'm gonna be working on that hopefully in the coming weeks. And I have clay here that I want to use too, so I've been kind of wanting to sculpt something out. So that will be the new goal. So I told the couple and Shane what I was gonna do. They lost their frickin' mind. Shane lost his frickin' mind, but he looked at me. He's like, "Man, you need to do Star Wars related." I'm like, "Yeah, like lightsabers for Peter Mayhew." Like they did a few of Alan Lincoln, and then Dave Sadler told me something about that when I was at work one day. And Alan's like, "Yeah, Peter, or not Alan, but Dave told me that about Peter Mayhew's. They built him like a lifesaver crutch for his legs because he has a cane that he has to walk on because Peter Mayhew's like super old and his body's breaking down." But anyway, so I thought, what the hell, man? I can definitely do something cool for my crutches. I think when I'm done with them and designing and building them and getting like the covers for them, I think it's gonna be crazy how I'm gonna do it. But I think I'm gonna run over to AutoZone, grab some paint and stuff like that because it needs to be automotive to stick to the aluminum. I might have to do a few coats, man, because I drop these damn things constantly. The crutch becomes your a part of your body. You just kind of forget about it and just drop it, and the paint will wear off. But I like to walk around and have something customizable to me, but I'm a huge Batman and Joker fan, so people probably freak out when they see him, like, oh my god, and probably steal him again. Hopefully not. I'm still working on Jodel's thing. I still got to get a hold of the crutch company and see if I can actually get a crutch for half price to do it. I want to get that started. Ninja Flex has been giving me some issues also, but that's the goal with the crutch. It's going to be Batman and Joker, which I'm fucking excited about. I really want to do something cool, man. Like, I think I want to get back into clay sculpturing because you're able to manipulate the thing as your model. You know, you're able to get the nice. And I've been looking for a few things on Thingiverse and a few other things, and they have some good models. I've been looking into laser scanning, 3D scanning. Alan, I bumped into him the other day as we were talking because he works for the prop department now. He's, the conceptual design, and he was telling about the new scanner that they got. And he was like, man, it's like all hooked up, and it has a scanner thing, man. It's like fully detailed renders. He's like, it's a shit ton of money. I'm like, yeah, probably fucking $100,000 to $200,000 just for that. He's like, yeah, I think it's from Autodesk or some shit. But the Kinect, since I'm a gamer, and I have two Kinects. I have the Kinect version 2 and Kinect version 1. I'm going to look into the scanning features for them because I bought the XYZ scanner I want to say about a year ago now. For $150, I really couldn't complain. Like, it's like, okay, cool. Now, my problem with XYZ is they're not really good with publicity. They're not really good with their PR, which is scary because it's like, okay, what does a printer really do? What's a scanner really do? And they had a guy at a conference, and they showed like a 60-second clip of them scanning the guy's head, and they didn't really get into the program and stuff. I have it. I've used it. It's a pain in the fucking ass. It's using RealSense technology. I can actually show you the scanner. We don't drop anything. There we go. This is a 3.0, and for those listening, it's a, you can watch the video, but it's this little thing right here. There's a little button right here, and you hold it like this, and then you go around the model. It's a 3.0. It needs an i-Core processor. This computer does not have that, but I was able to kind of get around that, and it actually does work on the computer. The rendering is good. It does what it needs to do. It sends out an infrared light, and uses a camera to map your face. And I've done a few facial scans, and it came out okay. Not many people have been doing good reviews on it. It's got maybe like a 2-star on Amazon, which people are like, ah. But the Kinect program that I saw, I've been really wanting to get into it. Seems to be running a little bit better. I'm not sure how much it costs. I'll be checking that today, and then I'll be talking about it a little bit more in a later podcast this week. But I've been kind of wanting to do that. I want to get back into clay sculpturing, and hopefully it works well. I'm not looking forward to a higher detail scan, but the Kinect version 2, because Windows 10 has the 3D scanning software, which I haven't used. I have used the setup and stuff like that, and it allows you to go to your printers. So Windows has made the idea that everybody's going to have a freaking 3D printer laying around. Everybody's going to be an engineer, which in my estimate, it's happening, but it's not happening as everybody thought. People want to point and click. It's kind of like what an iPad does. As simplistic as possible. 3D printing is not that at all. The M3D printer, I mean, that's as close as you're going to get to a point and click printer. You don't have to level it. You don't have to do shit. And it prints in PLA. I think they go for about $250. A friend of mine actually owns one. Greg owns one, and I asked him about it, and I was like, hey, how's it working out? He was like, yeah, I made a few things. I just bought it for shits and giggles to print a few things. Nothing major, just like a couple of knickknacks for the house, stuff like that. Then I have another guy at work that wants to get into it because he wants to start 3D printing. He plays Dungeons and D&D, so he wants to print out like characters for D&D. He's and his friends are gonna like actually go out and grab one. So I kind of told him, I was like, you might want to go with this one or that one. I was not too expensive printers. I was like, you want one you can actually fix and whatever have you, like the Robo or the DaVinci 1.0 But I directed him to a few other companies that he could probably go to, so he's not burning his wallet at all. And he already seen he looked like the one that he wanted. But I told him, I was like, definitely go with Simplified 3D. If you get any damn 3D printer, go with Simplified. Because Simplified, the slicer, man, has just been amazing. It's worth the price, worth the effort. And they haven't even sponsored me. They're not even sponsors. It's just that when I looked into slicing, I use Matter Control. I've used Cura, and it depends on what you like. I mean, Cura is cool with me. It has a nice X-ray mode, stuff like that. Well, Simplified is like nothing I've ever used it for. It allows you to actually scan the 3D, scan the damn print. The best part about it, I guess it's on my forehead. Man. The best part about it is it allows you to put the supports where you need them, so you can stop wasting material. So every layer that you have, you can adjust it for your liking. I am still learning about that. There's a guy that does a really good video. I can't remember his darn name. It's on YouTube. He's part of one of their. He's actually on their website. He's like one of the contributors to it. And he kind of talks about that through a YouTube video, and like how you're able to adjust layers and adjust the infill to what you want. And that's just incredible on how you're able to do that. Unlike most programs where you're like, oh shit, I need this or this or this, and the print's like struggling. I mean, even my previous Instagram videos with the hand groups, I had that issue with my layering issues. So one layer it would turn into like 100%, and the other one would turn to like 0%. Like, what the hell? But that's all been fixed now, and I've kind of fixed a few things. But definitely love that stuff. But I have a few friends, like I said, that want to get into that, so I've kind of given him some printer advice. He already kind of picked one that he liked. I just can't remember the name of what he chose. I think it's going for around, like, maybe you want to say about $200-300, so that's not too bad. And everybody thinks of 3D printing, they're like, shit, man, it's going to cost me like $400. But, no, not too bad. Not too pricey. But later on tonight, I'm going to try the 3D scanner stuff, because I really want to, like I said, get into sculpting. I'm going to be working on some of the Ninja Flex. I got to figure out what's going on with the infill and slow the speed down a little bit. I now have us up on Twitch, YouTube, and Periscope. I live stream my prints now. I made a little thing for the webcam I got now. Works amazingly well. It is the Logitech Pro. It works amazingly well. I'm using Restream.io as the restreamer, so I can go to all the different sites. I don't like with that Facebook is included, but you need to pay an extra $10 a month for an RTMP link just to get that to work. Yeah, I agree that it's worth the money if you have enough followers, but for me, it's not really feasible just yet. I mean, what I like to stay feasible on is definitely YouTube, Instagram, and then Facebook are my three. Everything else is kind of like Twitch. Really, nobody really jumps into it. And sadly, it's more for gamers, and you want to log in and watch gaming. Now, I'm just trying to 3D, show the prints on how they're printing, and walk you guys through it, give you guys some tips and tricks. I'm going to be printing some new hangers for myself again, because the hangers are kind of breaking down, which I got to write that in my little report that I made about the case study for Ninja Flex. And so far, it's looking like I'm getting about 4 or 5 months maybe out of the grips, and they're now starting to break down. The interior infill is starting to break down because of all the grabbing and squeezing and what have you. Still not bad though. Still not bad. I literally have no hand pain anymore. A little bit of hand numbness because the way I grab them sometimes, and I'm just standing there like waiting for something, and your hand can go numb. That happens with any grip, but literally my callus has gone down on my hands much better. Sorry for that. I'm very curious what it's going to do for Jodell, but that's what I'm going to be working on pretty soon for that. That's pretty much what's been going on my week for the 3D printing. Now I'm going to get into what I was doing for the last couple of days. So, movie to review. Spoilers. Guardians of the Galaxy has come out, Volume 2. I was able to go see it for free, but I ended up going out with a great friend of mine, Trent Ward, who is working on Hollywood Horror Nights, and he's a makeup artist himself. So he ended up taking me out to go see it at the 4DX at Point Orlando. Kevin Smith has talked about it a lot in his podcast, Hollywood on Babylon, Batman on Batman, and a few others that he's actually gone to in Hollywood. And Point Orlando is the only one that actually has it. It's called 4DX. And what they do is they have seat rockers, and it tilts, and it lighting, and there's wind, and there's snow, which is actually like soap bubbles that fall in your head that look like snow. They chilled on the theater in certain scenes. I mean, there's lighting, there's smells, there's smoke that they blast, and all that kind of crazy stuff. Anyway, I liked it. I really liked it. I think that everybody keeps telling me not as good as the first one. I kind of have to agree just a little bit. I didn't hate the second one. Loved it immensely. Gave it an A. I have no complaints. The soundtrack was good. There were some songs I really liked. Kurt Russell as the dad. Spoilers. Amazingly done. I mean, they really broke down the song that his mother, Peter Quill's mother, and they fell in love with him. Like, broken. What a girl, what a fine wife you would be. I freaking thought that was great. Baby Groot, Vin Diesel, auto-tuning the voice, freaking amazing. Michael Rooker did a fucking amazing job as the character. I never fell in love with it so much. And just the effects of, like, the chairs tilting as the seats would tilt forward and backwards. Holy shit, did that bring another effect into me, because I took filmmaking. I'm still a filmmaker at heart. And my buddy Trent weighed about, big kind of dude. I'm surprised to see he actually felt it too. Like, he said that even for his size, he had to like, I guess when the seats move, a lot of people were getting up and then tilting back like this and getting back into the seat, because the seats, there's some scenes where there's air blowers by your ears, so when the bullets fly out, it's like, so you'd feel like this little flick by your ears. The smells and stuff like that. There was bubbles in one scene. I won't say which scene. Fuck it, I will, because it's spoilers. They finally get to the planet where his father is from. It's basically his father. The planet is his father. And as you're going, and then there's all mole on this little thing, and it's flying, and all these bubbles, and it's the scene. There's bubbles actually in the theater that are floating around with the scene. It's fucking was incredible. I thought that was neat. But like in the beginning of the scene, like for when they opened it up and stuff like that, I thought that was cool, man. Like the camera actually tilted down. There was a breeze. They actually blew in. They turned the fans on, right? Really nice and soft. And then when you got closer, like, it was wind blowing through your hair. You could smell the flowers, and it was freaking amazing. Like, and when he went to go shift the gear, and the music, and you just feel the bass, and you just feel like the chair kind of tilting a little bit. It just felt right. It felt like you were in a car. Like as you were shifting gears, you felt the stutter on the bumps in the road and stuff like that. I thought that was fucking incredible. Worth the price to me. I think it cost my buddy $21, and we had to choose our seats at Point Orlando. I think it held about maybe like 300 people, maybe less, probably about 200 people. It's got a handicap area where you can go up in the elevator and stuff like that. The screen is not an IMAX, but everybody saw it just fine. Just the way the theater is built up, it's really intimate, and it really felt good. I do not recommend, if you have a drink, like an open can or soda, they have cup holders, but you might want to put those on the ground. And there's a lot of leg room, because there's like a little lip that your feet go on and stuff like that, because you're tilting and going away. In one scene, there's a battle scene, and you were just fucking bah, 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 bah. And there's little rockers behind the seat that actually nudge you. So when like Groot was getting like thrown around, baby Groot was getting thrown around, hitting the rocks, these nudgers will like kind of like pinball. It's kind of whacking your back a little bit. Not too hard, pretty delicate, but you still could feel like the arrow as Andu was fucking going right through your chest, like, and you felt because the arrow flew through his chest, and the gun battles and the flight battles, and just some of the scenes were fucking incredible with it. I really enjoyed the movie, just for that effect. Ended up going again. I took my lady out to go see it in the 4DX, and she liked it, enjoyed the movie. We watched the first one again before we went to go see it, and I said, hey man, I'll pay for it, let's go do this. That's how much I kind of enjoyed that new experience of 4DX. She's not really big on motion or anything like that. She doesn't do any big rides either when she's at work, but she said she almost tossed twice, but that was just her. She has a late stomach, which means she gets woozy a little bit easier. Especially toward the end of the scene, she goes, the ending of the movie kind of made me kind of sick, because they were battling a lot. So it was like, and you're moving like this, and some people felt like, holy crap, but all in all, I really enjoyed it. Definitely worth the money with Guardians. Kurt Russell did a great job. I did like for me, people said that they were more of a team in the last one. They were kind of fighting a bigger thing, the Destroyer, what have you. I like this one because it kind of broke into the characters more. I didn't find anything wrong with it. My buddy kind of said that to me too. We both nerded out after the movie, and he kind of said the same thing. Again, spoilers. Drax kind of finding out, what was going on. Dave Bautista actually broke into that character a little bit more and had a little more fun with it, and I really fucking enjoyed it. With what he was doing with the character, he had more to say, and it was just fucking hilarious. Michael Rooker doing what he does best, breaking in, and then there's a little spoilers. Sylvester Stallone is in the movie, and Andu and him used to work together, so kind of crazy with the old Guardians there, and my buddy kind of explained that to me. But seeing Nebula and Nebula talk to her sister finally, I mean, they both were going at it, but you kind of realized there was a sister sense there, and you kind of, spoilers again, what was going on between both of them, why Thanos did what he did, and it's just crazy. It was a great freaking rendition. Peter Quill meeting his father and kind of breaking into that, and there's just one scene that I like to death, where spoilers. His father wants him. His father is taking over worlds. The reason why he went to Earth to impregnate his mother is because he was trying to build, trying to take over the universe. He explored. He didn't know how it was created, but he said, I went to explore, and I wanted to find life. When I found life, that life was boring. It wasn't me. So what he's trying to do is take his entity. He was planting these little flowers all around Earth, like little seeds of himself, to take over the whole world. So everybody would be him. It would pretty much be him. He would take over everything, and it would be him. Peter, the reason why Peter is so important to him, and the reason why he had Andu, I'm pronouncing the damn name, Michael Rooker's character, would, get him, is because he wanted him. Peter is the son of him, and Peter's mother, Peter's mother was the only person that his powers were able to go into. So Peter is in part special. He's the only thing that ever worked. Reason why? Because you go into the story and you find out, all these bodies are here. Like, where all these bodies come from? And all of a sudden, the lady, the Mantis, tells Dave Bautista what the hell is going on. She's like, all those skulls you see down there are all of his kids, but none of them had the power to extend life. Peter is the only one that actually, when they had sex, and it happened, it worked. Like, he's the only one that can actually generate, you find out, has power, and he can contain. But then you find out, like, he's like telling Peter, he's like, hey man, this is the reason why I found you, because you're the only one. I heard about this guy named Star-Lord, and they're going more into life. But he's telling Peter, he's like, this is my life goal. This is my dream to take over every planet. He bops him on right here in the forehead, and it tells them, goes like this contact. The makeup was fucking incredible. The eyes would light up. His eyes were like turning like gray, but it had like glowing eyes. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I went to see your mother a couple of times, and I had to leave her because if I am away from my planet for so long, my form, this human form that I have, will die, and my light will be extinguished. So his light is his energy. He is always immortal, what have you. And Peter is immortal as long as he stays on the planet too, and he comes back to regenerate. But Peter didn't know that. Anyway, so he's telling him this, and he's like, I need to show you something, Peter. And he's been trying to tell Peter, like, this is my life's goal. This is why I went to go impregnate your mother, and what have you. But the one kicker is that everybody kind of felt like something was up on the planet. And what happened was, he tells his mother, he's like, yeah, it's a shame I had to implant kill your mother. In order to get you, all of you here, to get your mind right, I implanted the tumor in your mother's brain. It pains me to do that, but I loved your mother. Your mother was everything to me. But this is my life's goal. This is my dream. Your mother, what I'm doing here into the universe to myself, to give me life, to give myself meaning. I had needed you, because you are the damn seed to this whole plan. Without you, I can't do this plan. The two of us together will create this. And then they had a fight. But the one scene I loved, he's like, what? And his eyes just like, he comes out of that, the meditation state that he put him through, and he just fucking blasted him with his gun. There was no hesitation there. James Gunn did an amazing job telling that story. And I think that my buddy kind of complained about it. He was like, Guardians 1 was better, but I feel like, with that scene right there, that kind of made me happy. He's like, it kind of just, you look at the character, and it was just, okay, this guy just wants to be a bad guy. This is what he wants to do. So I kind of get the thing with the Infinity Gem in the first one and kind of understanding. But James Gunn, I think he did a great job, and I really enjoyed the ending of the story. It's like, all right, well, it's kind of a family film, and this one kind of getting to everybody's story. I think the reason why I liked it, everybody kind of told more of themselves. Nebula, and then Drax, and then Rocket, and then Groot. And I didn't hate it, but to me, I saw it twice. So that tells you something. I really enjoyed it and got to understand it more. My buddy said the reason why he saw it with me again, he said I saw it, this is my second time seeing it, I think I appreciated it more. I think I understood more of it. I think that's what everybody should do, is see it twice. If you're going to go see it regular, and a couple of the guys I told 4DX about, they're like, man, I don't want my chair fucking everything. I just want to watch the film. But I actually thought 4DX, like I said, paid off in the end for me. I really enjoyed the movement. Will I do it again? Maybe so. It was kind of chilly in some scenes because they were blowing in a lot of AC in some of the scenes to make you feel chilly. But it felt cool when your jet flying, your chair was flying around. It didn't feel intrusive. It felt like James Gunn had something to do. Apparently, my buddy said James Gunn had something to do with the design of it. So he's the one that programs, tells the guys to program the seats the way they move and stuff like that, just so it feels subtle and the tilt shots, stuff like that. But it felt kind of weird when Rocket was actually jumping on head to head to head, and then you could hear, and it just felt really cool. And all in all, I liked it. Thought it was cool. It was a very good send off for a lot of the comic book nerds. Stan Lee with his character, my buddy kind of explained that to me. He's like, yeah, when you listen to him, he's like, and once I was a FedEx guy, so it's kind of like Stan Lee's in the universe of Marvel, So he's talking to the Watchers on the planet, spoilers, and he's telling them about his Marvel life, all the movies, all the cameos he's been in. So that was pretty cool. There are 3 endings, which I thought was cool. Groot does get bigger in one of them. You find out about Adam, which I'm still not too familiar what Adam actually is, but some of you nerds out there might know. Trent kind of didn't know either. Trent was like, Trent did tell me that, the Marvel universe has been changing because of the new characters. Disney is doing a new kind of take. They're not really going by their own comics. And if you see the new comic books, you see that they use Chris Pratt Drax. So they're kind of using the characters like Nick Fury and stuff like that, to the redesigning them around the actual actors that are playing these characters. So things are changing. I mean, if you're a big comic book fan, things are really changing for the better and fun. But all in all, like I said, I gave it an A. I really enjoyed it. Saw it twice, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It was enjoyable. I mean, I liked it. I had some friends that were like, yeah, I liked number 1 better, but I didn't hate it. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna go see it. And one of my friends was, we talked about the 4DX experience. People were like, I really want to give that a try. How was it? I said it wasn't intrusive. So definitely if you're around Orlando, try the 4DX. I'm glad we get to try it. It's about $21 for just a regular ticket. And then I think it was $19.50 for like a matinee over at Point Orlando. So wasn't too bad. But if you're gonna go to the one here at Point Orlando, I think it's the only one actually in Florida. I want to say the only one in Orlando. I want to say. It's not bad. Just make sure you get your parking validated, so you're not going to get charged for parking and their parking garage there. But all in all, I had a blast. So that's pretty much what I've been up to this week. And right now I'm just going to get 3D scanning. Hopefully this episode wasn't too shitty for you guys. I'm sorry it's been taking a bit. I'm actually going to be 3D printing in just a few moments. A few parts for, I found some sculpting tools, because like I said, I gave Shane some of my stuff. So I'm going to be doing that in a little bit. But I'm going to let you guys go in just a few minutes. I actually need to do a little bit of spoiler reads, so I'm going to do that. Again, for that, if you guys need to make some money or anything like that, and you're trying to get some cash just for some rent or whatever, I recommend driving using Lyft. If anybody needs to get a line, use my code TUMP. Again, that's TUMP for $5 off your first ride with Lyft. I've used Lyft the other day, and it wasn't too bad. My driver had a little bit of navigation issues, and the app was taking him in weird ways. I'm not going to lie. It was taking him weird ways, but when he got to me, it was kind of a hot day in Florida for me. He apologized for everything, and it was still a great ride. I got home super cheaply, and it was good. It was fun. It was just hot, and I gave him a nice view and stuff like that. But then, guys, I just left because it's easier to get around, and you can tip within the app, and it's a lot cheaper than cabs. It really is. I'm going to be using it tomorrow to do a few things. Already have my car requested for the morning. It's nice, man, because they're right there. And I use it when I go to work or what have you. I just can't get around to where I need to be. It's nice because you don't have to find a parking spot. Just got a message from somebody. Yeah, you may definitely use my code TUMP for $5 off your first ride. Highly recommend it. Give it a shot. See what happens. Also, again, use if you're looking for videography or a filmmaker at all to get in Orlando area weddings, what have you. Use Weece Productions. That's WEECE Productions. He has actually been one of my supporters, and he does videography in the Orlando area and Deltona. So if you guys need anybody, I'll put him up on my page, and you guys can hit him up. He's budget friendly for weddings, shooting, stuff like that. And my buddy Daniel also, I just posted his stuff on our Facebook page. So if you guys need some drone shooting, Daniel has been doing some drone shooting. He's got quite a few lists that he's got to get done. But I'm just trying to help develop some business for him because they support me, and again support them. I don't make any money, but it helps build people up. So if you're looking for any good drone shooting, his video reel is going to be up on my Facebook page, and so is Eric's stuff. Again, for Lyft, TUMP, check that out for $5 off. But check out both of these guys; they are amazing, good friends of mine, and they do some great shooting, budget friendly for any occasion, wedding, what have you. If you're trying to get a short film done and you need a quick couple of drone shots, he can work with you. Daniel's really good at what he does. Check out his link. It's on my Facebook page at openmindindustries.tm. Check us out on there, or go to openmindindustries.com. Click on our Facebook button on there, and it'll be up there. But that's all. Hopefully everything works out for all of them and myself, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll be posting some live stream stuff, so if you guys want to check us out on the Twitter, please hit us up and become a subscriber. I'd really appreciate that. Also, YouTube, I would like at least one subscriber. I've got nobody subscribed to that, but whatever. What happens? I don't, I'm not gonna beg. But if you guys want to donate to the Patreon page, please, that'd be great. All right. Hope you guys have a great week. I'm gonna keep at this. I will talk to you guys more throughout the week. Sorry it's been taking too long. And again, happy belated Mother's Day to every mother out there, including my own mother. Thanks, Mom, for everything. You've been great and amazing. And also, early birthday wish to my brother Adi tomorrow. Happy birthday, bro. Wishing you all the best. Wish I could be in New York with you. No. But that is what it is. We can't be here whenever we want. But thank God we have technology and Skype. And I'm also going to be doing probably this week the review on the Apple Watch and probably the Echo, which I now changed the name to Computer. It's really, really cool because now it sounds like Star Trek. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining in. Hopefully this wasn't too boring for you. Sorry I rambled again, but what do you want for free? Alrighty. Enjoy, guys, and always keep an open mind. See ya. Have a good one.